August 1978, Arizona. Sun blazed like a disco ball on steroids, baking the highway smooth as Tony Manero's dance moves. My Chevy rumbled along, dust plumes mimicking Farrah Fawcett hair flips in the rear view. Just as desert drowsiness threatened to disco my eyelids shut, a glint of chroma mirage shimmered off a mess of curiosity popped louder than a stuck note on a jukebox. So I swerved onto a dirt track, cacti cloughing at the sky like Elvis in bedazzled gloves. The chrome resolved into a diner, sun-bleached and forgotten, like a record player gathering dust. Inside, air hung heavy with the greasy hum of fries and the smoky haze of forgotten disco nights. 3 figures hunched in a booth, faces obscured by trucker hats and a cigarette cloud thicker than Donna Summer's hairspray. I slid onto a stool, the silence broken only by the griddle's sizzle and the bartender's rhythmic cigarette tap, a beat echoing John Travolta's strut. "Coffee black," I rasped, voice parched from dust and the road. The bartender, eyes as weathered as the desert itself, grunted approval, pushing a chipped mug my way. As I waited, their hushed whispers seeped into my ears, a secret soundtrack in this dusty amphitheater. One voice, rough as gravel, mentioned a score, a diamond necklace, and a name that made my coffee taste like disco punch gone sour. Sheriff Jackson. This Jackson was Arizona legend, a lawman who cleaned up towns faster than John Travolta could shake a leg. Hearing his name tied to some shady score in this faded diner sent shivers down my spine, colder than a disco ball spinning in reverse. I wasn't just a road-weary driver anymore, I was a reporter drawn to scandal, like moths to a Donna Summer concert. And this story was hotter than a July day in Texas. With practiced coolness I weaved into their chatter. A cigarette here, a disco reference there, and soon their whispered plan unraveled. A casino heist, fat diamonds, a poker game setup, audacious enough to be true, even in this polyester paradise. But the mention of Sheriff Jackson threw a wrench in their groovy scheme. Apparently, he was onto them, hot on their trail like a bloodhound after a dropped meatball. Fear and desperation flickered in their eyes, a toxic cocktail fueling their bravado. I had a Pulitzer Prize simmering right before me, but something felt off-key. Sheriff Jackson, despite his gruff exterior, was as honest as a country ballad. Him pulling a jewel heist was as believable as a disco ball singing opera. My reporter instincts battled my gut. Expose this, and lives could crumble faster than a polyester leisure suit in a washing machine. Yet staying silent could mean Jackson walking into a trap, as carefully staged as a Bee Gees music video. The desert heat intensified, baking my dilemma until it crackled like a dry branch in a disco inferno. Finally, I played my own tune. I slipped a note to the bartender, scrawling, "Sheriff Jackson Casino Danger." Her eyebrow shot up. Then she slid the note under the counter to the booth. Their faces drained of color faster than the lights at the end of a disco party. Mumbled apologies, promises to change plans, and then, like dancers fading into the strobe lights, they vanished. Later, sirens wailed in the distance, a lonesome country ballad echoing across the dusty plains. Sheriff Jackson himself entered the diner, boots thudding a steady beat on the floor. His eyes, sharp as a hawk's, met mine. A silent question hung in the air, heavy as a polyester suit. I simply pointed to the empty booth, the ghost of cigarette smoke still clinging to the stale air. Jackson nodded, a ghost of a smile playing on his lips. As he left, the police radios murmured softly, a symphony of justice against the setting sun. That night, I wrote my story, not about the flashy heist, but about the quiet heroism of a sheriff protecting his town. And as I typed, the desert moon cast a silver sheen on the diner, reminding me that even in the dusty corners of the 70s, beneath the polyester and bell-bottoms, hope bloomed like a wildflower, nourished by the whispers of truth and the steady rhythm of a heart beating honest as a country song.